What is up? Welcome back to Outside the Top 25. I am your host, Rob Fox, joined as always by my co-host, Dan Regester.
I just don't really feel like being here, man.
Yeah.
Thinking about taking a mental health break.
Smart. Smart.
I'm not going to tell you either. I'm just going to be off the grid for like 2 weeks.
That's fine.
And then when I come back and come into your office, I'm going to ask why I'm kicked off.
Why you're gone?
Yeah, why'd you fire me? I didn't know you had that power.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, you're actually allowed at this company in particular. Anyone is allowed to fire anyone else if they say they left for a mental health break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's how it goes.
Probably should have thought about that.
Before you put in I can put it in the calendar, actually. I will legit put it in the calendar right now. Dan. Mental health
Fire
break.
Dan.
Fire Dan for mental health break.
It's crazy that, you can just not show up for 2 weeks and get kicked off your team.
Sad.
Lane Kiffin not understanding.
No, not a man who understands anything. You know what's funny you say that? So last night I got served a video.
Oh, I thought you got served like a court document. Like someone's
Courtney's
suing
taking
you.
a mental health break from our marriage.
From your marriage, yeah.
Yeah.
You got served divorce papers.
Well, that's call it what it is. All right. It just was given them, and I think it's a threat, an empty threat. But
She does not realize the fire she brought upon herself. You're about to make it rain hell.
she doesn't want to know. She doesn't want to know the shit I got on her. She doesn't want to fucking know. But no, I was watching. I got served this video on YouTube last night, and it was like the full game of Mizzou, Nebraska in 2007. Like,
You searched that.
no, I didn't. I swear I didn't. It's from other shit. I searched similar things. But anyway, so I was like, I'm going to watch an offensive possession because it's like Chase Daniels. I haven't seen it forever. So I'm watching it, and I just so happened, or a defensive possession because I was like, man, that stadium was loud. I want to remember how loud it was. So I'm watching it, and the announcers are talking about this. A Nebraska wide receiver catches gets a catch, goes out of bounds like 4 yards, something like that. And they start going into his backstory. It's very early in the game. So they start going into his backstory as they are wont to do. And I forget his name. It was something like Rising or Riff, something like that.
Sure.
And anyway, he's like wasn't sure if he was going to play this week. His girlfriend was killed in a single car accident. And that after this summer when his brother died. And it's like this game's in like early October. So this dude has lost his girlfriend and his brother in the span of like 3 months.
Play through it.
No mental health break for that motherfucker. I was just like, oh my God. Oh, and he got suspended for 2 off-field incidents in between those 2 deaths. And I was like, I think those incidents may have been related to some mental health. He might have needed a break.
Play ball, baby.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Just play.
Yeah.
It's harder, though, when you're on offense. I feel like if I was angry at the world and I was a linebacker or a safety.
You get to hit.
What?
You want to hit.
Yeah. That's a great thing to do. There's no
Launch
better place.
yourself. Maybe you get tossed for targeting.
Yeah. Or even an offensive lineman, right? Where you can just wreck shit. But like a wide receiver, you're just dancing.
Yeah. I don't know who released the audio of Lane telling him to fuck off the team, but I don't think it helped his case.
The guy?
The player, yeah.
What did he say specifically, the player?
Not much, because Lane was just like, you can't just walk out for 2 weeks without saying anything to anybody and just expect to come back in.
Oh, so he was posthumously informing him of the mental health break.
After the fact.
Right.
It's like, here's why I haven't been around for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Lane's like, that's not how the real world works. You're gone.
That's not how anything works.
No.
The fuck? Yeah. Dumb fuck. I mean, look, if you needed a break, mate, yeah, you got to say something first.
I'm just over mental health right now.
It is.
Between that and then you have Taylor Lautner just took my spot as hottest podcaster in the world right now. First off, not a podcaster. That's not his profession.
I think it might be now.
It surely isn't. He's a poser.
What's he get?
We also have more reviews on fucking softcore history than he has on his own podcast, and he's a person.
I think it might be his primary source of income. Now,
I'm an
what jobs
NPC.
is he getting offered?
Being hot.
I don't know why he felt the need to do a mental health podcast. It's like people are always.
I don't
like,
understand why these celebrities want to do podcasts. You want to do fucking BetterHelp and like My Bookie reads?
Right. This is what you do when you can't be them,
Yeah.
but you want to entertain.
You're lowering
people.
yourself to our level. It makes no sense. Why would you want it? Why would you want this life?
Mike Trout going to play AA ball.
It's not even remotely the same. It's Mike Trout going to play like basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're a clown show.
Yeah. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Outrageous. I don't understand it. It's easier, probably, though. Easier work.
Do you know how fucking I can barely form sentences, right?
Yeah.
I barely speak the English language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People, you assholes are listening to me right now. Barely get through this sentence.
Right.
It's a joke. This is easy. I'm farting into a microphone.
We all are. We all just fucking sit in there. Like, I can't tell the difference between if it's my asshole or my mouth in front of a microphone when I listen back to the podcast.
I usually, when I have to re-listen to our show like 12 times, because I have to cut it and edit it and do all that. Yeah, no, I pretty much thought it was your asshole the whole time.
I'm surprised you haven't murder-suicided the softcore history crew, to be honest.
I would never kill myself.
It's fair.
Oh, but you guys would mysteriously disappear. Be easy. Be so easy to get away with it. Anyway, what are you thinking about college football this week?
I feel like we both had a nice week last week.
We did.
Yeah.
Continue that train.
You went 11-7, 2-0 on the money line dogs.
What is up?
11-6 myself. Didn't hit my money line dog, but that's okay. I'm back to 500 on the season. You are a spry 92-70-1 and 8-4 on your money line dogs.
What a sick year.
Printing money.
You're welcome, people.
Yeah.
Everyone's giving me shit for my golf picks, rightfully so. I only got one. Sorry, I only had one pick. That was right. So hard to pick golf. But yeah, I think we're by 60% at this point. 92 and 70, I'll do it.
Okay.
Real quick. You kind of lead the charge here.
Okay. Yeah, both
Talk
good
about
weeks
yourself.
so far. I will say, though, in terms of, what do you want to call it? The slate this week is incredible for the ranked teams. Kind of middling for the unranked games. I was like looking over the doc, and it's
not great.
It's kind of a whatever week for the
I'm at
outside.
56.9%.
Okay,
That's pretty good.
making money.
Making money.
But yeah, we'll get into this week. I do like this first game a lot. Wyoming traveling to UNLV. They're 5.5-point dogs to Barry Odom's running Rebs. The over-under's 50.5. How you feeling?
Wyoming, totally different team on the road.
Totally
of course.
different beast on the road.
Home field advantage, maybe one of the best in the nation.
I would genuinely rank their home field advantage top 5 in the country.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit about how loud Death Valley is or anything like that. Trying to get to Laramie is worse than 100,000 Cajuns screaming in your ear.
Coming off of, a decent win against Colorado State. Got blown out by Boise. Boise's not good this year either.
Yeah, they're really mediocre this year.
I will say UNLV wins the game on the field, but I think it's a field goal game. Give me Wyoming plus the 5.5.
Okay. UNLV, a bit of a spotty track record here, I guess you could say. What do you think Wyoming is on terms of their schedule? They're the 4th best team they played, 3rd best team. They've obviously lost to Michigan. That's the best team they played. Lost to Fresno State. I imagine that's the 2nd best team they played.
Air Force, probably.
They haven't played Air Force yet. I mean, as who they played so far.
Okay.
So then your next candidates are basically Vanderbilt and Colorado State.
No.
Yeah. So Wyoming's probably the 3rd best team they've played so far this year. 5.5. They didn't cover that against Colorado State.
UNLV?
Yeah.
Are you looking at the right schedule?
Yep.
You said Michigan. UNLV. Okay.
UNLV's played Michigan.
You're right. Yeah. That's pretty soft schedule, but it's Mountain West.
Mountain West. I'm taking UNLV to cover at home. They just beat the shit out of New Mexico. They did have a hiccup, like I said, against Colorado State, who's been, I guess, a little sneaky this year on certain teams. Beat Boise.
there,
Almost took Colorado to
the
overtime. But yeah, UNLV's kind of been beaten up on everyone else. You know, they didn't beat. Obviously, Michigan beat them, and Vanderbilt was close. But Vanderbilt, even though they're Vanderbilt, SEC versus G5, that's fine. Yeah, I'll take UNLV to cover that. You're taking Wyoming to cover
plus the points. I actually like Wyoming in a teaser if you want to tease that up to 11.5. But
Okay.
I won't. I'll take the 5.5.
Okay. All right. Next up, oh man, what a game. I take it all back. I love this game. This is a sloppy, gross outside the top 25 game. And it's a great outside game too, because it's not a Big Ten game where it's just going to be like a slap fight where there's only 10 yards gained. It
could be.
Two different styles though.
Yeah, but it could still be a rock fight.
Yeah. Maryland, 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, no, it's not September.
Yep.
It's a rock fight.
Yeah. Maryland, 2.5-point favorites on the road at Nebraska. Over-under is 44.
Yeah, that fucking over-under tells me it's a rock fight because Nebraska has a good defense, but
Yep.
they can't score.
Yep.
Maryland sucks. I'll take Nebraska plus the points.
So you taking just Nebraska points?
Yeah.
I think
I don't trust them to win on the field.
I'm popping off early, and I'm taking Nebraska as my money line dog.
Okay.
A home dog, Nebraska against late season Maryland.
Nebraska just had a very dog shit showing against Michigan State.
Yeah,
Granted, on the road.
on the road, kind of a bad loss for them.
It's not good.
I mean, it's
That was to
rules
get
first year.
bowl eligible, I believe, right? They're
5-4. They have 3 more shots to get bowl eligible, and this is literally their best shot. Maryland at home because they have to go to Wisconsin, and then they get Iowa at home.
Dude, who knows though?
I think
All those teams, like,
who knows?
they could win.
They could win 8
lose.
games. They could finish the regular season with 8 wins.
Like Iowa, nobody has a read on Iowa. They can't score, man.
Not a
And that
goddamn
defense
point.
is going to eventually just cave in like the levees of New Orleans.
I guess if someone puts some base charges on them, is that what you're saying? Someone gonna bomb Iowa's defense?
Isn't that what Katrina did?
Yeah, blew the levees, man.
Dude, Katrina brought weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah,
Shit.
blew the fucking levees. I think they have to win this game, so I'm gonna take Nebraska.
Yeah, I'll take Nebraska just with the points.
Yeah,
And if Maryland wins, they win by like 2.
yeah. Next up, an ACC battle that I don't really know how to read. I mean, this is a coin flip game to me. Virginia Tech, 1.5-point favorite on the road at Boston College.
Tommy.
What's his name? The one we said has to be a BC QB.
Cassianos,
Yeah, he's got the most BC QB name of
former UCF quarterback.
fucking all time.
Had a really good game against Florida State, and he's kind of coasted off that. Otherwise, like,
Resting on his laurels.
it's weird because people always point to that, like, "Oh, Florida State's not that good. Look at this Boston College game." It's like, no, man, you had to watch the game. Tommy was playing the game of his life.
Yeah, although I mean, to be fair, coasting or not coasting, they're on a 5-game win streak.
BC,
Yep,
yeah, they got 6 wins, right?
they're
5
bowl
wins.
eligible. By the way, we have a shortage of bowl eligible teams this year, so JMU probably making a bowl game. 'Cause
I saw the Sun Belt, I believe, went to bat for him.
So the Sun Belt petitioned on their half. However, they can make a bowl game even if that doesn't go through if there aren't enough teams with 6 wins.
But also, can't the Bulls just like reach out on their own as an independent
One would think.
and
but
be like, "Hey,
apparently
you're
not.
gonna be on our game." Rank Jalen Neal. Are they not ranked yet? Still
They're ranked.
in the
CFP? I don't know.
I don't think they are.
They're definitely ranked
I think
in
the
AP.
committee's in cahoots with the NCAA for some reason.
Yeah, 100%.
Which we don't care for.
There is absolutely no JMU in
Fuck
the CFP
that, dude.
rankings.
That's sad.
Wow,
Pour one out
sad.
for our Dukes. Just keep winning, baby. I mean, they're an all-athlete school now.
They
at this
are the
point.
best
All-sport school.
Some say the best sports school in the country.
Just knocked off Michigan State in basketball.
At Michigan State, what a bad year for.
You know, We'll get to it in the college basketball show, but Michigan State has got a problem with a lot of their older guys coming back and having seniority over all their freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting valuable minutes that should not be given to the older guys.
There's a lot of older coaches around the league who are legends and Hall of Famers who are.
But like, if you're gonna get these recruits in, right, these studs that are freshmen, one and dones, just play them. Don't let them sit on the bench.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if it's a one and done.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But anyway, Virginia Tech, Boston College. You know what? I'm taking Boston College as a home dog. 6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it.
Chestnut thrill.
What?
Chestnut thrill.
Yeah, this is actually kind of weird to me that Virginia Tech is.
It's a weird line, so I'm gonna go Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Otherwise, like, I don't understand. I'd be on Boston College all day.
Right. This is just.
But like, this is me fading my own brain because I'm like, why is Virginia Tech favored in this on the road? They're not good. They suck.
No, they're very much not good. It is a bizarre line.
Give me Virginia Tech.
Okay. Next up, another interesting one. Georgia Tech. 14.5 on the road.
Is Haynes King the best Georgia Tech quarterback in history?
I'm sure it's a sad list. Best Georgia Tech QBs.
Because he's kind of slinging it right now. He's like lighting it up.
Oh, all right. Well, here's one, I guess, who's a name you'll recognize.
A blast from the past.
I just Googled best Georgia Tech QBs of all time. Frank Broyles. You know him? You heard him? You know
Of the Broyles family fame?
Of the Broyles Award. Frank Broyles Award for, I think, best coordinator.
Unfamiliar. When did he play? In the 30s?
He was the football coach, it says, for one season at the University of Missouri in 1957. Coached at Arkansas from 58 to 76.
Yeah.
So he obviously.
Unfamiliar with his work.
He started, he played in the 40s.
I apologize.
Wow. Played in the 40s for Georgia Tech. Did this man draft dodge? Did Frank Broyles?
Awful.
Wow.
Not a Patriot.
Certainly not. He died in 2017. Far too late. Should have died on the battlefield with his brothers.
Coward. Haynes King, best Georgia Tech quarterback of all time.
Yeah. I won't give it to Frank Broyles. He was Broyles studied at Georgia Tech where he was a quarterback from 1944 to 1946. You tell me that this guy was tossing around a pigskin and prancing around with cheerleaders.
He could be over at the Battle of the Bulge.
He should have been on the fucking beaches in Normandy, fighting through the hedgerows, or in fucking Okinawa.
Send him over to the Pacific.
Jesus Christ.
Let's dig him up. Dig him up right now. Send him over to war.
Just drop his coffin out of a plane onto Iwo Jima. Fuck Frank Broyles. I'm taking Clemson.
Out of spite.
Out of spite for Frank fucking Broyles.
So Clemson coming off a giant win, obviously. Biggest win of their season against Notre Dame. I think it's a classic letdown spot here. I think Clemson wins the game, but Georgia Tech's kind of pesky, kind of annoying. They've joined the 21st century by not running the triple option for the last couple of years. They're letting Haynes King sling it. Yeah, give me the Yellow Jackets in the 14.5.
Okay. All right.
I mean, Clemson can win by 2 touchdowns. You still cover.
Yeah.
So.
Where are you going to put those picks in, by the way?
Where am I going to put those picks?
Where are you making your bets?
I got a guy on the corner of the street. He's hit or miss, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes he's not there.
Doesn't always pay out.
Sometimes he doesn't even pay in American dollars.
What does he pay with his body?
It depends. But yeah, no, I mean, typically I like to go to MyBookie.
MyBookie.com. That's where I make my bets, is at MyBookie.com. Use promo code Drinking Bros. You'll double your first deposit up to $1,000. You put in $1,000, you'll get $1,000 free. Put in, $50, they'll give you a free $50, whatever, with the promo code Drinking Bros. Again, they'll double your first deposits. We make all our bets on this show, on the main shows. You can make a ton of prop bets and stuff like that. Didn't you like, in terms of prop bets, this is a top 25 game, but didn't you like Oklahoma State's running back to hit the over on yards?
Ollie Gordon.
Yeah, against your
Against
guys.
my beloved UCF Knights. One of the worst Russian defenses in maybe the history of the sport.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead and whatever Ollie Gordon on Saturday, you're going to go to that tab, that player prop tab. It's going to pop up. It's going to say Ollie Gordon yards. Just, I don't care what the number is. You just take the over.
There's no number too big or small.
And if you really want to play the long game, take him to win the Heisman right now.
You said, what is it, 40 to 1?
It's like 40, 45 to 1. If he goes off against us, has like a 300-yard game, that's going to go from 40 to 1 to 10 to 1 real quick.
I mean, at some point you
get
can't.
the value right now.
At some point you can't ignore the numbers, right? Like it's.
Yeah. And if they win the Big 12, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah,
He's the Heisman. Because I mean, it's weak year.
yeah. It is.
And I say this thinking that Penix is going to eventually lose like 2 games.
It is a really weak year for the Heisman. Wasn't it kind of down though when what's his face won it too? Devonta Smith.
How dare you, you bitch?
I know. But yeah, mybookie.com is where we make all our picks. Check it out. Next up, staying in the ACC for NC State at Wake Forest. NC State, a 2.5-point favorite.
NC State back-to-back giant wins.
Yeah.
Beat Miami at home. Beat Clemson.
You know, NC State, bit of a tough out, just in general.
Tough out.
Even when they're down, they're not like so down that they're horrifyingly bad. It's not a game. It's always a game that can jump up and bite you. I feel personal kinship with a school like NC
I
State.
respect Doran. I don't like him, though.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. There's something about his face. I don't like his style of coaching and play. I don't know. NC State's just not sexy.
No.
But
ever.
they always win 7 games, 8 games.
I believe
They're
they're bowl
tough.
eligible. If not, they're very close.
They will be.
No,
will
they
be.
are. They're 6-3, so they are already bowl eligible. Wake Forest has not beaten anyone who is as good or better than them.
No.
I don't think that changes today.
But I think NC State kind of plays to the level of the competition, and thus I will take Wake Forest at home.
Okay.
Moneyline dog of the
Moneyline
week.
dog. All right. I don't think you're hitting that one.
Well, when you zig, you gotta zag.
All right. Fair enough. Next up, App State at Georgia State. This is a Dan Regester special.
Is it? I hate both these teams now
Why?
because they keep getting blown out when I pick them.
Well,
fuck these teams.
I mean, I guess you can pick one of them, right? App State's a 2-point dog on the road at Turner Field. The over-under is 61.5.
take the under.
Taking the under?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a 27-24 game.
Okay. I'm taking App State. I don't trust Georgia State. I don't like Georgia State. Obviously have fond memories of their stadium, but that's about it. I'll just go with Drink's, coaching alma mater instead.
He really built nothing there. He was there for 1 year, rode off Satterfield's recruits, and then dipped.
It's all right. He's made something of himself now. That's all that matters.
Has he?
Yes.
Well, congrats on your most successful season in like a long ass time.
Like 10 years, literally 9 years, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have 3 or 4 losses.
We're going to have 2 losses. Good to go.
You probably lose to Tennessee this
If
week.
we win this weekend, we're fine. If we don't,
Does Heupel kind of weirdly own you?
so far, yeah. But I think...
Does he like think of it as a revenge spot for him?
The fans did not like him, and I think he remembers that.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
they're terrible. He was an annoying...
He runs the same 4
yeah,
plays.
he's
Yeah.
an annoying fucking coach. Next up, your Bobcats
My Texas State Bobcats.
against your ex team,
UTSA?
Coastal.
Oh, Coastal. That's right.
Yeah, you left, you're a real flavor of the week kind of guy, flavor of the year kind of guy.
I just kind of own the whole Sun Belt.
You just
I just love Sun Belt
go
football.
around
Yeah,
for just like falling in love with different Sun
I'm a
Belt
little
teams.
floozy
Well,
for the belt.
we got Texas State -2 on the road at Coastal.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Why not?
Coastal at home on the teal turf.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas State's good, but like they're not favored on the road against Coastal good.
Okay. You know what I like in this game? The over-under.
I'm sure you do.
57.5.
I will take Coastal.
You'll take Coastal?
Yeah.
I'm taking the over. I think that's too low for, obviously, we know Texas State scores. Coastal only has, I think, like the 60-something ranked defense in the country. Not an amazing defense.
Sure. Is McCall still healthy and playing? I haven't really checked in with Coastal recently.
Texas State might take care of 3/4 of that number on their own.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it.
TJ Finley just kind of spinning the rock.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about Texas State handling this spread.
Okay.
Or that over-under, personally.
Also, if I'm a Sunbelt team, find these 4 and 5 stars that fail miserably, bring them into your school, give them a second chance.
Well, that's exactly how the transfer portal should work, right? Underrated players who only got recruited at like Sunbelt schools or even middling Power 5
They get
schools,
elevated.
They go up. And then 4 and 5 stars who either were stacked under too many players and weren't getting the minutes and snaps or whatever.
Yeah, stop going to bigger schools or equal. Don't go to parallel schools. Go under.
No. Yeah. You
Like
need
a Haynes King right now. He's slinging it right now for Georgia Tech, crushing it. Greatest Georgia Tech quarterback of all time.
Right.
He was a disaster at Texas A&M.
That's how you got to do it. And yeah, you don't need to go to the G5. Like, yeah, if you're at an A&M, go to a Tech. If you're at, whatever. No, if you're at like Notre Dame, go to Missouri. That's that type of thing. And if you're at, like a school like James Madison, or I don't know why McCall didn't do it at Coastal, then you
Well, you don't want to go anywhere because you're the best team in the country.
James Madison, fair. But with Coastal, like McCall could have gone up.
I don't know why McCall never left Myrtle.
He could have gone up to a team that was really good but needed a quarterback, maybe like a mid-level P5 team who was like,
He could have even went to like a Cal and been fine.
yeah, or like maybe McCall on Iowa.
McCall at SMU.
SMU is, well, now it's especially a step up because
Or McCall to TCU.
Yeah, perfect example. Don't know why he didn't.
Go to the national champs. Defending national champ runner-ups.
Ugh, it's not been a fun year plus one game for TCU. No, that was bad. Next up, Auburn plus 2.5 on the road at Arkansas.
So here's kind of a fun hypothetical. If Arkansas wins out, which they very likely can do, does Pittman save his job?
Arkansas is 3-6. They would have to win out to get bowl eligibility.
So they go 6-6.
Get a bowl game. No, they've fired coaches for going 6-6.
But they win the bowl game too. I guess
He
they would
wouldn't-
fire him before the bowl game.
They would fire him before the bowl game. They fired Burt.
But if they win out, right? So they'll be.
wasn't Burt
Read the
6-6?
rest of the schedule. Auburn.
Auburn, they could win.
Yeah. they're favored to win.
FIU, sure.
So win.
And then Missouri. I don't think they're beating.
I think they can win out.
I don't think so.
I think they can win out.
It's not out of the question. It's not out of the question.
They just beat the Gators.
I know. It's not out of the question, but I don't think they will.
Now, how would you feel if you lost to Arkansas?
Bad. Angry. We beat them when they're good.
What if they like just robbed you of a New Year's Six bowl?
That would make me mad, yeah. It would be deserved in a way because we have beaten Arkansas teams that are definitely better than us. Like, we own Arkansas in that series. For
You
whatever
hate
reason.
Arkansas.
What?
They're your fucking rival, aren't they?
I do hate Arkansas, but only because their fans, Tennessee fans too, but both of their fans speak to Missouri fans as if they root for Alabama. You know what I mean?
I don't catch your drift.
Imagine you just joined the Big 12. And imagine Oklahoma and Texas fans. Let's say OU and Texas weren't leaving, and they're like, you ain't going to hang with us. Fucking Oklahoma and Texas, bitch.
Yeah, rightfully so. Like, I get that.
But imagine then an Iowa State fan walks in and is like, yeah, bitch. This is big boy league now. And then a Kansas fan is like, suck my dick, UCF.
Well, Kansas made us suck their dick really hard this year. But point taken.
Yeah. That's what Arkansas tended. And you know who never talks shit? You never talk shit? Bama fans, Georgia fans, and Florida fans. I never hear from them.
Oh, fuck off with the Florida fans.
Maybe they do to you because you're same state and all,
Yeah.
but they don't talk shit to us.
They talk to the little brother pretty harsh.
I'm sure they
And
do.
we kind of own them the last few times we played.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Destroyed them in the bowl game.
Do you think Pittman gets a needed win today or this weekend?
I do.
Okay.
Give me the Razorbacks to cover.
Taking Arkansas. You know what I like here? I'm going to take the over. I'm taking an Arkansas team that's offense is finding its footing. And, Hugh Freeze and Auburn, fuck it. 48.5 is the over.
Okay.
I like it.
I would lean under, but I will stick with Arkansas.
All right. Next up, a storied Big 12 rivalry game. Cincinnati at Houston. Cincinnati is a 2.5-point dog on the road. I'm all
Throw
over
the
Houston.
record books out. What a rivalry we have.
Incredible.
This is Big 12 football.
At its finest.
Dude, Cincinnati sucks and we struggle with them. Houston wins.
Yeah.
Houston covers.
I'm all over Houston. I have no faith in Cincinnati right now.
No,
whatsoever.
especially when they're not home.
Yeah. Although Baylor gave them the business at Cincinnati.
Yeah. But it's I still respect their home field advantage.
Okay.
Was it Nibbert? Nibbert Stadium?
Whatever. Who cares? Such a weird school to me.
Cincinnati?
Yeah. I don't understand it.
I like their basketball school.
They're definitely a basketball school, even though they've made a college football playoff.
They're a basketball school.
They are. They're a basketball. They're always, for me, they will forever be Kenyon Martin.
They will just forever be Mick Cronin.
Mick Cronin over Huggy Bear?
Yeah.
I'm more of a Kenyon Martin, Bob Huggins, Cincinnati guy.
Okay.
But I
They
respect
both
them.
kind of exemplify the same type of tenets you want to have a player.
Yeah.
Just hard nosed, defensive minded.
Fucking, yeah. Will fuck you up. Mick Cronin was a
We
great
need to get
coach,
Huggy
too.
Bear on the podcast.
What's he doing
He's
now?
not busy.
No.
No, he's probably just drinking and driving.
He wasn't even busy when he was coaching.
No.
I didn't feel like it.
I bet honestly, he rolls up to the studio. There's going to be like 4 or 5 cans that fall out when he opens the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like old time drunk. He's like your grandpa's drunk.
That man could have had a statue.
But he called Xavier.
But he called Xavier a bunch of Catholic
Oh, boy.
cigs.
Yeah, cigarettes. Next up, we have a game that I don't find very interesting. I do think the line is weird. Mississippi State is a 17-point dog on the road at A&M.
You don't like this game?
A&M's boring.
Why do you hate Jimbo?
A&M bores me, and Mississippi State really bores me. I will take Mississippi State to cover, though.
If there's one fan base I hate, it's Mississippi State.
Why?
The 1 year UCF went undefeated the first year.
Yeah.
With Mackenzie Milton before, obviously, the year before. Next year, he gets hurt. But the year we had Mackenzie, we beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl and everything. They just kept putting like a 3 or 4 loss Mississippi State in front of us in the college football rankings. And I'm like, this is bullshit. They barely beat UMass that year. Like, UMass went in to Stark Vegas and had the lead for like 3 quarters. Like a 0-win UMass team. Like a god-awful, dreadful UMass team.
You know why Mississippi State was ahead of you?
And then they pulled out, they just very, like I was at fucking Worst Fest
Yeah.
in New Braunfels, and I was like just laughing my fucking little dick off because all these Mississippi State fans were talking shit to me
Yeah.
because I just was like, this doesn't seem right. And yeah,
How
they
did you
barely
even meet any Mississippi State fans?
online, Twitter.
Okay.
This is when we were doing the podcast
Yeah.
at TFM,
Yeah.
Backdoor Cover. And I was just like all up in my feels about Mississippi State being ahead of us. I was
Yeah.
like, they suck. And they just kept pointing to their schedule. Like, we play teams. I'm like, yeah, but you don't beat teams, right? Like, does your schedule matter if you don't win these games? Like, you can have the hardest schedule in the world if you win 0 of those games.
What would your win-loss schedule have been against the SEC West in 13, 14,
What are you talking about? This was 2017.
2017? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Like, even still.
Well, you know, Who could say? We don't live in a world of what ifs.
Your whole schedule is UMass.
Not quite,
But kind of.
but kind of. Either way, that's not important. You don't get to throw strength of schedule into someone's face if they can't win the games. Or like one of the games, right? Like I just asked for one win against those teams.
I'm looking up their schedule in 2017.
2017, 2018. Look up Mississippi State. But it was a joke.
Okay, so in 20, man,
What are you doing?
I just Google's annoying, but I got it. In 2017, Mississippi State beat, man, these websites are terrible. For one, they beat LSU in 2017. They did lose to Georgia and Auburn. They dick stomped Kentucky, beat A&M. You're right, they barely beat UMass. They only lost by 7 to Bama. And then they beat Louisville in the Gator Bowl, Tax Slayer Bowl. I think that used to be the Gator Bowl. This is a respectable team. I don't know what you want from them. They were 9-4.
We were undefeated. We had McKenzie at full health. We beat Auburn, who beat Bama and Georgia.
Dude, Auburn wasn't trying that game.
Yes, they were.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows they came out in the second half and like boat raced us, took the lead into the fourth quarter, and we came back and won.
Dude, you let them do that when they weren't even trying?
The running back came out and was like, "That's bullshit. We tried."
He's just saying that.
It's not important.
He's a good
though.
sport.
And then we went undefeated the next year, and then Mackenzie Milton's knee exploded, and then we lost to LSU because we created Joe Burrow.
An LSU team that Mississippi State beat the year before. Ipso facto, Mississippi State.
That was a different Joe. Joe Burrow wasn't on that LSU team.
Doesn't matter. Same uniforms.
They then came back. Joe Burrow's first year at LSU. We take a 14-3 lead in the Fiesta Bowl after we pick six Joe Burrow, hit him in the head, and then he becomes an all-world
You knocked
greatest quarterback of all
confidence
time.
into him. Yeah.
So you're welcome for the greatness, Joe Burrow.
It's fair. I'm taking Mississippi State to cover 17.
It was a dirty hit, so it is kind of karma. He's just gonna have the greatest career of all time.
Was
now.
that one of the Griffin kids?
No?
Okay. Wasn't Shaq?
It was a white dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dirty. I'm taking Mississippi State to cover 17.
I'll take A&M. This is kind of a game where they flex
This is where it's like, oh, maybe A&M's not
because
so
they have
bad.
a shit ton of talent. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. That's got to be the worst part about being a fan of A&M or like Miami right now is you're just like, the dudes are there, man. What do you fucking want?
Although, who is starting at quarterback for A&M? Because it's like a carousel right now.
Eh.
They had Max Johnson play a couple games. Like, it might be. Is it Connor No, Wegman's hurt, I believe. So yeah, I don't know.
You don't have.
I don't care. A&M's gonna win the game by
All right.
21.
Rice, 14-point dog at UTSA.
I love Rice here.
Do
Why-
ya?
The disrespect for our Rice Owls.
It's crazy, man.
They are in. It doesn't matter if they win. They're in every game. 14 points. You're giving me 2 touchdowns. UTSA stinks this year.
Yeah,
I don't know
UTSA
why.
has been a huge disappointment this
JT
year.
Daniels and the Rice Owls just slinging the fucking rock.
So Rice is currently 4-5. They're fighting for a bowl game. They've got 3 chances left to win 2 games. This is probably their toughest one.
They got UTSA and then who?
At Charlotte and then versus FAU.
Charlotte's a joke.
Charlotte's terrible.
Charlotte has a decent defense, weirdly, but
And-
no offense.
They're on a 2-game losing streak, but I mean they had to play Tulane and SMU, and actually they gave SMU a game.
Yeah.
Um,
That
gave-
over was so
gave-
easy.
It gave Tulane a game as well. Beat the shit out of Tulsa, who's not very good.
They're starting to hum. Give me Rice. Give me, you know what? Rice plus the 14. And you know what? Give me Rice money line.
Rice and Rice ML. All right, that's fine. I'll just take Rice to cover. I agree. They're in every game. UTSA is kind of whatever this year. Fuck them. Next up, I think we have a game that we might both agree on as well because this line's crazy.
What is it?
Iowa State, 8-point favorites. On the road
At night
at night
against BYU.
against the fucking
The
Mormons.
Vampires.
BYU money line. Sprinkle this money line. I'm taking BYU to cover all the fucking way.
Nah, I'm gonna stop you right there. They just got their pants pulled down by West Virginia.
Sneakily competent West Virginia team lately.
Yeah, but BYU's a joke. Iowa State's not very good either. But to cover 8, at home. You're right. Yeah, fuck BYU plus 8.
Yeah, it's got to be BYU here. There's just
I honestly think Iowa State wins the game.
yeah.
But man, you're giving me 8 points at home.
That's gonna be a fun game to watch. Honestly,
It won't be. I won't even.
I'll have it on my
entertain
quad.
it for a
It'll
second.
be on my quad.
No.
Gonna enjoy it.
I will be watching the UFC on Saturday night. So
All right, you do you.
I'm not watching the
I don't care.
fucking
You live your life.
BYU Iowa State game.
All right, whatever.
I'm gonna watch Alex Pereira win the fucking light heavyweight strap.
I care not for that sport.
Why?
Doesn't entertain me.
Why don't you like? You don't like the most primal sport we have as a species.
Yeah, it's just whatever. I'll watch it.
You don't like seeing men fight?
I don't care.
What about in real life?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, if I'm just on, I mean, not that I'm ever there anymore, but like when I'd be like walking down 6th Street,
Yeah.
a fight would just break out across the street.
But like going to the UFC, like December 2nd when it comes to Austin, you have no.
Oh, I would go to any sporting event, especially like that. Yeah, going to it is totally different.
Okay.
You think I'm fucking into horse racing? Fuck no, but I go to the Kentucky Derby 100 times out of 100.
You kind of seem like you like horse racing, yeah.
I like the environment.
You're cut from that kind of cloth.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Rich.
Sure.
Your parents are lawyers.
Government lawyers, but whatever.
Yeah, but your dad owns a racehorse. It's weird.
I know, right? Next up, I think we're both going to agree on this one too. You actually pointed this out when you were making the list. Fresno is a 1-point dog on the road at San Jose State.
Stinks. Smells fishy.
Tell me why you think it's fishy.
Why the fuck are they only... Why is this 1 point?
Yeah.
San Jose State's okay. They're fine. Fresno's supposedly the best team in the fucking conference.
Yeah. And they're not favored.
Ugh.
Does this scare you?
A little bit. I want to initially my brain goes, oh yeah, lay the fucking mortgage, which for a house I don't own, on Fresno. That said, I am taking San Jose State.
You do you, baby.
I'm just going to go with, when shit doesn't add up, you have to just go with what doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I'm going with San Jose State.
Fresno, fair enough. And then last, unfortunately, we've lost some great teams on this show to the rankings.
Well, we got one back.
JMU, Arizona.
Well, JMU's back.
Oh, yeah, but we didn't do them this week.
I don't know who they're playing. You can have them as your extra game.
Well, I was gonna do my classic SMU stuff for the extra game. However, I might do a JMU as well because that's ridiculous that you didn't have them on here.
We gave them shine. We talked about them.
So, oh God,
they're playing UConn.
Oh my Lord,
they're 24.5-point
oh
favorites.
Lord. All right, we'll get
I don't
to that.
like doing 20-point games.
We'll do that in a moment. But yeah, first up though, Air Force is back. R.I.P. to the number next to their name.
And honestly, it was unfortunate because it's hard to beat yourself.
It's hard to beat. Yeah, you're just fighting a mirror.
I've said it a couple times before, but it's Captain America fighting himself.
Yeah. Yep.
They know every single one of your moves.
All your moves. So we've got Air Force.
But yeah, massive disappointment. Although military under cashed again.
Of course.
Again, of course, Air Force, when they don't play academies, always take the over. But whenever they play an academy, it's always smash that under.
And this is a great over-under this week.
Fucking hammer the over.
Air
Are you kidding me?
Force
Hawaii?
is a 19-point favorite on the road at
I don't care about
Hawaii.
that. They probably do cover it, but just place the over bet right now and
Forget about it.
just remember you're like, oh, $100, free $100.
Yeah.
Free $100.
Hawaii, the over-under's 48 for the game. Air Force going to score that themselves.
Can't miss.
Yeah.
It's just a can't miss piece.
Yeah. Air Force scores that themselves.
If you want to throw this in your parlay, just throw it in the parlay.
It's
Like, there's one part.
Yeah. It hits. I
There's one leg.
I totally agree. Unquestionably fucking agree.
All right, so you're going with what's your extra game?
I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
I'm going to give you two extra games. The first one, James Madison against UConn. We're going similar vibes here. JMU, the over-under is 48.5. Taking the over.
All right.
And then we also have SMU. That's the extra game I usually take because you never put them on here.
I don't respect him.
That's fair enough. SMU is a 17-point favorite at home against North Texas. Now, I don't necessarily know about that. However, the over-under is 66.5. Both of these teams score. SMU over.
All right. Robert,
Yes.
write me down as a man who is not biased
Okay.
because I'm going with our biggest rival, South Florida.
Okay.
The Bulls, -7 against Temple in Raymond James.
Ooh. Little NFL stadium team matchup here.
Link versus Raymond James.
Yeah.
Going with South Florida. South Florida's been putting up points lately.
Mm-hmm.
The over-under for this game is insane, too. I just don't trust Temple to score that many points.
Yeah.
But I will go, I think you don't have to worry about 7 points. South Florida wins probably by 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, Temple sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, the way SMU or the way South Florida is going right now, 100%.
Yeah.
And and the reason I took the overs in JMU and SMU is both those schools might approach those numbers themselves.
You got to hope.
Yeah. So all you need is like a touchdown out of the other school.
That's how I feel about Air Force. I'm like, Air Force could score 48 points.
Yeah, 100%.
Come on.
All right,
And then Hawaii, Timmy Chang. Come on, give us 2 touchdowns. That's all we need.
10 points.
I'll take 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, obviously. That's all we got for today. Again, we place our bets at mybookie.com. Go to mybookie.com. Use promo code Drinking Bros to double your first deposit up to $1,000 for Damage Gesture. I'm Rob Fox.
Later.